All right, we are back. CSRL Race 7, Season 6 Nurburgring. Jay with me as always. Welcome back, Jay.
Oh, well, thanks for having me.
How can we not do this without you, man? Never be the same.
Well, don't say
we
that.
we got a good grid for today's race. We Moda P1, David Macedo second, Jon Snow qualified third. Jesse Albert strong qualifying this race, fourth place. So that Honda has been, I don't know, what would be the tormenting him. I don't know if I don't know what the right word to be with it, but it is he is it's like someone riding a bull has been Jesse with that Honda all season, and he is looking fast here. Would love to see this be a race where he kind of is able to tame that beast.
Yeah, I don't know what god he made a blood sacrifice to get fourth here, but
Mm.
um that that
Several
Honda.
several dead virgins. There are several dead
Yeah.
virgins.
I mean, yeah, I mean those are hard to find these days.
It's
Um,
it's why it's taken him till race 6,
yeah,
race 7.
right, right. He couldn't get anyone to respond to his
No,
Craigslist ads.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't. That thing has looked just absolutely psychopathic this entire
Hmm.
season. Um, I don't envy I don't envy him or Tillman. I
Yeah.
mean, unfortunately, we don't have Max here. He had some prior engagements for the last two races. Uh, the
No
three,
Torres this one. Oh, but not he's not in a an SX
yeah,
race.
I mean
Sorry.
the three guys running the
Yeah,
yeah, it's a
the four wheel death machine.
well, I mean they're all kind of that, but it's got extra death. It's extra helping a death in that thing. It's Yeah, it doesn't look like he's having a lot of fun with it. So
No, you know what though? I'll give him credit. Like I've not heard him complain or make real excuses about the car. Like, he's having more fun than I think anyone could with that car. And really Tillman is the same way. Tillman is having a good season. I mean, considering dealing with that car and everything, he's been competitive all season as well. So
well, I mean, the reason you can't hear Jesse complaining is because he's trying too damn hard to keep the car on the track. Doesn't have uh, doesn't have a whole lot of extra time to.
is that what it is?
No. Yeah, I mean, kudos to all three of those guys for even attempting to drive that thing. It has not looked like it's been fun all season. So,
No,
but
no, but they've, like I
speaking
said,
of
they've made the best of it. It's been a fun season, and talking to them, neither of them, especially Jesse, who I think's had the most struggles with it, has been upbeat all season. Hasn't seemed to cause him to be down or
no.
grapple. So it's been good considering.
Well, yeah, and I mean, speaking of the season, we got one race left after this one,
We do.
Monza, I do believe.
That's
Um,
correct.
I don't know. All the tracks where you think the NSX would sort of dominate.
Hmm.
It's just unfortunate that there's too many other turns besides the straights. So
There it is.
yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens.
And Buckley, he's got another solid qualifying. I think last race he qualified in the top 10 and was really, I think, set to almost finish top 5, top 4. I forget exactly where he started having the fuel problem at Bathurst where he was low and um, had to cut off. But he's poised to maybe have another good race this season, like this race qualifying just inside the top 10.
Yeah, I mean it's good to see Bob Buckley that far up there. Um, he's
I I saw Nate got commented in the chat, so he must have heard our broadcast
yeah,
last week.
yeah, he must have. Yeah, no, it's good to see Steven up there. I mean, he's been a staple the last few seasons. Um, just sort of Sorry, I was just I was watching what was going on track there. It looked like some people were having
Going through.
a bit of a hard time figuring out where they needed to be there. No,
You
it's
know.
good to see him up there. I mean, he hasn't traditionally been a front runner in the group, and
Mhm.
it's good to see that that he's making his way up. That's great.
It is, and I think I'd have to pull up. I wish I had the stats for every driver. It looks like Massey, I think, had a good qual. I don't know if this is his best qualifying of the season, but he was just outside the top 10. I think last week he was qualified 12th. So here we go. Green light. Let me get to us to the heli cam. Turn 1 can be a little bit of a doozy.
Whoa,
And whoa, is
the
that
doozies!
Massey? Yeah.
Whoa, yeah, that was some really good avoidance there.
I also appreciate the fact that Massey, when he got back on track, didn't just go pinning it into the apex. You could see he really waited. A lot of side-by-side action, but looks like everyone's given pretty good space. Jesse giving space. Oh, looks like the
Oh,
back of that car on the curbing got a little loose, but able to keep control.
yeah, I think there's a lot of corners here that have.
Actually, let's go back.
It almost looks like green paint, but it's actually, I do believe, AstroTurf on the outsides of these corners. So you hit that, and
Yeah, you can see him correcting there, so good save.
yeah, you don't get many chances like that in the Honda. So I think he's already used up one of those virgins.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a phrase I ever thought I'd hear myself say, but you know.
Yeah. Let's see who can keep
Ooh,
it pinned here. Taylor had nice drive, but just could not
yeah,
get through through Blythe
yeah.
there.
Blythe was just a little wide going into the first of those
Mm-hmm.
S's. That's really a tough part of this track. If you're even a little bit off on the entry, it can just throw your whole thing out of whack.
Very
I do
true.
believe that is the technical jargon for that as well.
100%.
Yeah.
So overall, I think we had a pretty clean first lap. And start of the second one here, just making sure everybody's getting in. Nice.
Yeah, it
Now,
looks like
Alvarez, I'm excited. Back this race, he has not been around, not been around season 6. This is his first race joining us, and he had opted to kind of start from the back. Didn't want to get in the mix too much in his first race back.
yeah, I mean not too bad of an idea. I mean, it's always a juggling act when you're thinking about joining a season late, you know, not wanting to negatively affect people who are in a points race or, you know, it's I mean that usually colors my decisions as well, you know, if I'm too late to a season, I'll usually opt to stay on the sidelines instead of maybe taking points from someone who needs them.
Well, we have Alvarez starting from the back, and Moda not only starting from the front, but already starting to pull away from the front here. He is showing 1.6 seconds ahead of David Macedo, so Moda already flexing on his with his speed at Nurburgring here.
Oh,
Yeah, I will say that's when it's a good time to be driving the Aston. Much more friendly at doing curb eating like that.
Yeah, it kind of looked like the second part of that chicane was just sort of a suggestion, not necessarily a
We'll
requirement.
go back and ride on board with David through here. Yeah, I like to cut a little bit about that, but I don't think he meant to cut that much of that. But again, that one of the benefits with the Aston. If that was Moda making the same mistake, it wouldn't have been as forgiving, would it?
No, probably not. I mean, Moda would have come out of the corner. He just would have come out of the corner in the wrong direction.
Oh, we got Alvarez. I guess he found his first guy here, which was Francisco, so he just got around him. That'll put him up in 18th. Luna just went, looks like, off track. What happened to Luna here?
Um.
Just
Just
braking too late. Good
missed his
job.
breaking point.
Ve-
Oh.
very, very good job with the good diving to the outside. I want to give Luna credit here. This is something even experienced drivers um, make the mistake of wanting to turn in and not out. So turns out, completely avoids Taylor and lets it just be his mistake and not something that costs another driver for his
Yeah.
mistake either. So good job on Luna.
If we could give points, I would definitely give that a +2.
Love
That
when I
was
see
nice.
people react to that, and always want to try to highlight it because help drilling in everyone's head. Man, Kumar, a good start. He qualified 6th, showing him up in 3rd, so he was able to make some moves here in the first couple laps.
Yeah, I heard all week how both Moda and Kumar had some pretty serious pace around here. So I mean, Alex has always been fast here, and we've never seen Kumar
Mm-hmm.
at the Nurburgring. So I mean, I can't say it's surprising. I mean, he's been pretty quick most places. So
Yeah, he has. He's really proved
um,
himself that.
yeah, gaining 3 positions in the matter of a couple laps, especially toward the front end of the field, is no easy feat. So,
And not an easy track to do it on either.
oh, speaking of easy, man, that was that was a snap if I've ever seen one.
Oh, you got John here trailing right behind Jesse. Half second, or closing in less than a half second.
Yeah, and John seems to be pretty well at the top end of the points battle here. I don't really
He
think
does.
there's. I mean, aside from him, dropping out of the championship, I don't really see a way for anyone to snag first off of him.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
he snagged his 3rd championship. Not bad.
yeah, don't want to celebrate too early, but congrats on.
No, I think you're right. Like, without having to stop and do math, which we know we're not going to do. We're not the math group here. I think it did look, based on the points, it looked pretty surefire that he should have it locked in.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the season 7 trailer is going to look like with that Spitfire they were.
Nice. Looking forward to it. And if that's true, that's another trophy for up north. Canada has swept this league since
Yeah,
its
we're just
inception.
gonna have to rename it from CSRL to Can-Am and just capitalize the can because they're the ones that win everything.
Yeah, we got Marlowe on the back of Luna here.
Oh,
And
Luna
Luna
just a
goes,
little wide.
yeah, just a little bit, and is going to let Marlowe through.
Oh, that Beamer's looking pretty snappy around here.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 Beamer drivers we've seen now having corner exit oversteer.
And now it looks like Doherty and Alvarez have reached the back of Massey here. And oh, Massey Goes off track. You know, it's actually good not to have had it go into the wall, though. Went on the left side. But yeah, this is what you're talking about. Dangerous.
Yeah, there was nothing he could do about that one. As soon as he hit that first bump, that Audi had different plans for how this was going to end.
And you know what? I thought we were at the Schumacher-esque, but that wasn't. That was the end one. I had it messed up from the heli cam. But yeah, nice job recovering. Lost a few spaces, but lost a few places. But he's still right in with a bunch of cars, so, and no damage.
Yeah, that could very well have ended much worse. So good job on getting that back under control.
And we were talking about John being behind Jesse, but Ken also showing about a half second behind John. So we'll have to keep our eyes on this as John kind of closes in and wants to make a move on any move he tries to make on Jesse might also result in North getting by if it's a failed move. So
yeah, North's
it's never
kinda
fun
turned
getting
into
sandwiched.
No, I mean it's never fun getting overtaken by two cars in one go either. I mean, that can be kind of demoralizing. I can just imagine what it feels like to drive a Haas or a Williams in F1. Just watching all those cars just drive past you like you're standing still. Ken's kind of turned into a bit of a rocket ship this season.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's the change of car or what's going on, but
yeah, I mean he was
Ken's...
always pretty competitive in the Lambo, but I think this has been his best season, like consistency wise, across all of them, across all the races.
Yeah, that's good to see.
Like dialed it up a notch.
It's kind of the goal here is to sort of bring the whole group to forward together instead of just focusing on the fast guys. So it's good to see. It's good to see everyone's making improvements, and that's really what the point here is.
Oh, and we're
Oh,
talking about North. I don't know what even happened there.
I think he went to brake. He was just a little too far off track and hit the grass.
Yeah. Just a little bit too much speed, and then the wheel caught the edge of the track.
No, it actually looks like he got a little oversteer on the...
Was it from here?
Right here.
Yeah, just caught the edge and...
Yeah, and then just lost it. So, noted. If I ever want something to happen to someone, all I have to do is just give them a compliment.
It's usually how it seems to work. It's always been
right?
the curse. So Alvarez, we'd shown earlier where Alvarez made it past Escobar. He's now showing up into 15th. I don't know what this is. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he's in front of Doherty, and he is looking to get in front of Luna now.
Yeah,
Pulling
definitely
on
looking
him nice here.
Definitely looking a little bit more confident with the way the car handles. That might just be due to the multiple seasons he's done with this.
Oh, this is a risky place to do it, but he's gonna go through. Nicely done by both drivers there.
Yeah, Alvarez is sort of it's the scene from what's the last Nolan Batman film?
Dark Knight?
Dark Knight Rises? I think that's what it is. The scene where where Bane's talking to him about adopting the dark. That's
Uh,
very much how Eric looks here. Oh, so you adopted the NSX. I was born
yeah.
into it, molded by
Yes.
it.
Yes. That is it. Uh,
You know, you can always tell when it's a really good joke when it requires you to explain the whole thing.
but once you did, I totally got it. And
Yeah.
I
Oh
also
yeah.
I also had Bane's voice in my head as you said it.
Yeah.
So that's and it's like Luna kind of just let some of those drivers through. These were a few of the drivers that were serving penalties this race. So I think Luna, just based on the names, maybe knew they may have had a little bit more pace to let them through.
And Tillman just about lost it back there.
Ooh!
That was scary. Absolutely scary.
Did I go back far
Yep,
enough or
right
too far?
right here. Right as they exit the hairpin.
Up here?
Oh no, it's right
Oh,
here. Yeah, it's right here.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Another virgin obviously sacrificed. He's doing the
Yeah,
same thing as
they're
Jesse.
I mean, I hate to say it, but they're blowing through these
Whew.
virgins.
Yeah, I totally missed that in the back. Good catch.
Yeah, that was scary, man.
Yeah, we'll ride on board with Pedro here. We've got a nice line of cars here. Alvarez, Marlowe, Doherty, Pedro, and then Tillman right behind Pedro.
Yeah, T1's kind of weird. It's almost like you almost have to break in as straight a line possible, and it's weird just how curved the corner is. You just kind of have to pick a spot, and hopefully you're aimed at the right point when you come out of it. I've always found T1 unnerving here at the Nurburgring.
Yeah, T1. You know the one that really gets me? I think it's T4. The kind of hairpin right-hander. You make the left, and then it goes right to that right is a pain. I'll try to point it out next time we're going through that section. Oh, Marlowe.
Like Tillman got a little off the track there.
Okay, so Marlowe looks like he goes a little bit wide, deep into that turn,
Oh, that
and
was
that
Marlowe.
lets
It looked like Tillman, but
Tillman.
yeah, you're right. It was Marlowe.
And then Pedro's in good position. He's gonna be able to looks like get through too, and Tillman's gonna follow him right through. I think here he'll be able to keep him blocked
Yeah, and that's
and
a
be
good
in
move by
position.
Tillman.
Yeah,
You
follow the
see the
car through.
opportunity. Yeah, see the opportunity coming up, and then just follow the guy through.
And
Oh,
Tillman,
but unfortunately,
he was giving
oh,
space. He was giving
yeah,
space. He was trying to make sure that he didn't cut into Marlowe there. And that's the difficult thing when you go to take a turn. Obviously, when you practice the track all week, you're practicing the race line. And sometimes when you're forced onto these alternate lines, it's the first time you're trying to do it in that
yeah,
car.
and
You don't really know how it's going to feel or the car's going to react.
Tillman obviously knew Marlowe was still there. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
at a certain point, he was in front, but
Yep.
it's
He
one of
just
those issues where it's like, do you cut in front of the guy and hit the brakes and cause an accident, or do you
right.
just, yeah,
And sometimes on radar, if you're far enough away, you don't necessarily see him on radar. But if you go to go through the turn and cut right real hard, you might all of a sudden find him right back on your radar, right? When you go from the
exactly.
left side of the track back to the right side or vice versa. So, man, that's like Alvarez just made it through life here on the straight, start finish straight here. Lot of speed in that Honda. We've all grown to expect that. And just holds that inside line. Nice and easy. That's one of the best passing opportunities here when you can get up alongside.
Yeah, pretty good awareness by both drivers. That was.
This is the section I hate. Not this part, it's okay. This right-hander. I feel like I can never get enough speed through here.
Oh, I have no problem with speed through there. It's always track limits. I've got too much of it.
Yeah, it's the one turn where I'll just see my delta go, either up or just down like several tenths. It's.
Oh yeah, I can make up about a second through there. I mean, it'll be an invalid lap every time. It's just one of those things where I can either do it right, or I can just cut the entire track.
Alright, so checking back on with John. He is still behind Jesse within a second. Looks like he's kind of maintained where I think I've seen him get up to about a couple tenths behind and fall back to no more than a second. So lot of speed ground gain there.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder if Albert's sort of having to sort of baby the car through some of these sectors.
That's one of the sections I would expect it to too. Like you really can't kind of go as wild at the curbing. John's gonna give him a little peek inside.
There's a fast guy behind you, so you cut off all the passing opportunities. Just park it right on the apex, make him go around the outside. I mean, that was obviously the intent there with that last corner onto the straight. Make John have to go around the outside if he's going to get anything done.
And you're never going to get by someone on the outside of that one.
It's so tantalizing, though. You see how slow someone is, and you're like, I know I can do it.
Yeah. But it's like, I guess it never hurts to try, right? You're not going to pass them staying behind them, and you can't go any more inside than when someone's hugging the wall. So your only option is trying to go around the outside. But
you could go really, really inside, but we don't really like that around here.
And John had to let off a hair there. Yeah, Jesse looking pretty consistent.
Yeah, he does look like he's got a fairly lower average cornering speed than John. Seems that most of the places John's catching up to him is...
Alvarez just shot by somebody. That was Scott Taylor.
Mid-corner. Yeah, that's Scott.
Does Scott have to let off there maybe a little bit?
Yeah, it looked like Scott maybe had a little wiggle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the turn that really... It's hard to nail that consistently lap after lap after lap. The Schumacher S, so... I don't doubt that we'll see some passing and also some mistakes through that section, right?
I mean, it's usually the two sections you can almost guarantee is it's going to be the Schumacher S's and the chicane. I mean, those are guaranteed. Those are the most... I don't want to say difficult, but the most technical sections. Oh, and Massey.
Yeah, we'll ride. And it's exactly through here. Yeah, got the right wheel inside, and it's just such a difficult piece of track. You're trying to just get as much speed through there as possible, and
yeah, that's rough. That is rough.
But I know Francisco appreciates that because that gives him a nice, easy way to get through.
Absolutely.
And got a drag race, Pedro and Life down the front straight. I think if Pedro gets that nose any closer, he won't hesitate to go inside. Well, Life's gonna keep outside, so he kind of gives it to Pedro there. Doesn't really
Yeah,
give
I mean,
space, and I think that's always better to be safe and live another lap too.
yeah, I mean, especially when you're not really all that confident with what you're doing. I mean, Life's only been doing this for, I think, what, about 8 months now? 6 to 8 months is sim racing. So not really being comfortable with all the tracks, still kind of learning. Um, like fighting people hard comes later. It just sort of, learning the lines and figuring out how to give space and all that stuff really is more important than trying to fight for position at this point. I mean,
Oh,
that's just my opinion, but
100%. And it's always better to err on the side of safety versus aggression because it'll extend your sim racing career a lot longer. people will like to race with you, and you'll also find yourself less frustrated and angry. So,
yeah. I mean, and it's a lot different than doing this in real life. I mean, you don't
yeah.
have to worry about totaling a car or getting hurt.
No, but the
So
guys that go out there and just don't aren't considerate of other drivers or aren't looking
they're
out for
not fun to
they're
race with.
not fun to race with, and you just usually don't see them hang around a long time there.
No, I mean it's 100% more fun when you know that you can race with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I say with, not against, because while yes, it technically is an adversarial sort of sport. Um, it's a I don't know. It's hard to explain. I was gonna say it's a lot more like dancing than it is basketball.
Yeah, I think that is fair. I see. Um, John looks like he had pitted,
So
so he was the
he
first
he
in
must
the
be
pits.
going for the early pit
I mean,
again.
it's worked so well for him. I can't blame him for trying.
Well,
Uh,
being stuck pretty firmly behind Jesse. I
mm-hmm.
mean, I'm sure at this point he feels like he's got you know not really many other options.
Let's keep an eye too, because it's worked out well for John. So he was in fifth when he pitted. We'll see if when he later in the race gets back out everyone else's pit, if he's still there or up. And wow, Alvarez a lot of speed, but just gets
Yikes!
into the back of Blythe. I don't see. Let's see what happened to Blythe. You never know how a car is going to react when it gets that
Oh, just
bump from
a
behind.
little, yeah, just a little wide on
Sometimes
the
nothing, and
entrance.
oh,
Yikes!
hard into the wall for Blythe.
Oh, that's rough. That is
That
rough.
is, I think it's gonna probably. Yeah, we see his wheel just. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna try to limp it back to the pit. So
That is rough.
yeah, very unfortunate.
And, letting people past. I mean,
Yep.
that's always a good move.
And Pedro is gonna get by Taylor. Let's see. Oh, again, it looks like Aston just able to carry more speed through this section.
Yeah, that
Taylor,
Ferrari's
I
looking
think,
pretty twitchy too.
yeah, they are, and I think again it was similar to Life. Taylor didn't want to kind of cut back in on Pedro, even though he was in front. I think he kind of gave Pedro the inside there, and that made it a easy pass for
Yeah.
Pedro.
Yeah, props to Taylor for driving that Ferrari, man. I uh
Yeah.
I tried that thing not too long ago and it was a lot like the McLaren. Just felt like a skateboard with no suspension. Just a car riding on trucks. Any bump you hit, it just Ugh.
Yeah, I have not heard too many favorable things about that car post 1.8.
Well, here's to hoping
Still
we get some
sounds
of the
great.
Evo models.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. To me, it kind of sounds like I mean, so I drove it for a season. It it kind of sounds like a really angry vacuum cleaner sucking up marbles. I mean, if you're ever on board in that thing on a downshift,
Yeah, the pops, the snap
yeah,
crackle pop.
yeah, they're not burbles so much
No,
as
it's
they
not
are.
burbles. It's pops. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the sound of a marble going up a plastic vacuum hose. Hey, it's the fastest vacuum I've ever driven, so I can give it that.
I always love his livery. It's such a good looking livery he's got.
Hmm.
And even got his matching green lights. His little front grill lights.
Well, it's a little known secret, but that fluoro green actually makes you faster. So it's a well kept secret.
Ooh, yeah, you can just see that suspension.
Yeah. Or the lack thereof in the rear of it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, and Tillman now has really closed in on Taylor.
Yeah, Tillman opting for the late apex there definitely gives him a much faster exit out of that corner.
And yeah, he's able to get in front easily into the hairpin.
Oh, and
And then it'll
Taylor's
be,
just about making a desert excursion there.
yeah, if Tillman can keep it smooth through the Schumacher S, which he does, that'll definitely, okay, yeah, so he's definitely got that position. And back at checking in on Jesse, still running fourth place, looking good in the Honda at Nurburgring. I would honestly think that this would be one of the hardest tracks in that car.
Well, it's a weird beast because it handles more like the Porsche than it does, say, the Audi.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah.
and
It's got that Porsche
tracks,
trying to kill you factor.
well, yeah, kind of. And it just seems like this track specifically is tailor-made for the Porsche, which
Hmm.
makes sense why it's being a bit more kind to the
Hmm.
NSX.
True, true.
I mean, there are some high curbs here, and the NSX is notoriously allergic to high curbs.
Yeah, I would just think it would be so the Schumacher S trying to take it with taking the raised portion of the curb, I would think there's a roll of the dice every time through there. And then the final chicane before the final turn, I would think would be another section that's just rolling the dice every time you're going through it in that car. But I've never driven it, so I wouldn't know firsthand. It's just
Oh no,
assuming.
it's you're rolling you're rolling some dice. Those two parts of the track are sort of a roll of the dice for most cars, but yeah, you're definitely rolling with disadvantage in the NSX. Yeah, and the Audi, another car we've seen, sort of seems like it's inherited the Honda's problems this race. with just sort of the weird snap oversteer and corners, and both Ken and Massey have run afoul of a few of the curbs around here.
And looks like White Cell has managed to eke out about another half second. I think when we first jumped on board and started watching this, he was about a half second behind him. And White Cell looks like he's started to eke away. Little wide there, not much. I don't know if that'll let Ken get back any ground.
It definitely looked like Ken caught up a little bit there. Yeah, the thing that these cars have that the Lexus doesn't is that legendary mid-corner rotation, which is super, super important around here.
Yeah, I could see it helping you right for that turn too.
The Lexus famous for the on-brakes rotation, which isn't necessarily that helpful.
No, no one wants that one. Whoa! I guess that was purposeful.
Well,
that was maybe purposeful, or he was just gonna go with it. One of the two happened there.
You know, either that was the dodgiest planned pit entry I've ever seen.
It is one that creeps up on you, so maybe that's what happened. I don't know. Let's see. So Snow running 11th. Remember, he pitted early. He's the only reason he's showing down so far. We'll have to see once everyone else pits what that does to him. The good news is he looks to have no one close to in front of him, so he's got plenty of open track where if he thought he had the better pace than Jesse and was just getting held up, he'll definitely be able to take advantage of it now with all this open track. So we'll have to see how that plays out. It's like Jesse's now pitting as well. And
yeah, there's Kyle.
Yeah, Kumar in the pits. Of course, David not going to be in the pits. And it's like Alex is staying out. So we do have a large bunch of the group there pitting.
Yeah, this looks like the biggest group we've had pit at the same time all season.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's all over the place.
Yeah, so I think... Oh.
Yeah, we'll have to wait until the next sector marker to see what the order updates to. Because I am interested to see where John comes out after all this. So Jesse's back in 6th.
There we go. Finally shifted around. I was trying to look. So he's in 5th, but there are Marlowe has not pitted, White Cell has not pitted.
Macedo, and I don't think Moda's pit either.
No, they're out enough though in front that I think even if they pit, we'll have to see. I think they'll come back out in front of John, but I think that might have got John into 3rd. We'll have to see. I don't know if he definitely, if White Cell hasn't pitted, which I don't think he has, I think John will be in front of him if he does. We shall see. But they definitely got John in front of Jesse, which is what he was going for.
And there's Marlowe. I just saw him going in the pits.
Okay, yeah, so here we go. We'll see what happens. John is...
coming out in front of Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah, so he...
I wonder if we'll see Whitesell pit this lap, or if he's going to pull a
David.
last second Macedo. As a matter of fact, I think that's what we should petition to get every driver a nickname. And I think David's is going to be last second.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and he does go pit. So we will find out in about 40, 50 seconds if who's going to be in third. And is Kumar showing 1.7 behind Jesse? Looks closer than that to me, though.
I don't even know how you can see over just the massive hood. The hood on this BMW looks like it's about 3.5 miles long.
Oh!
Holy! Yeah.
You don't see a lot of the front engine rear-wheel drive cars struggling as much through here, but yeah, just
Yikes.
the way he caught that first part of the chicane just had the suspension all unsettled, and
yeah, that
threw
car
him
was
off.
bouncing
And
like
that's
crazy after that curve.
It did. It just rocketed him off. So that let Buckley through as well. Buckley having looks like maybe another good race.
Yeah.
Yeah. So John did get by Whitesell. It just hasn't updated, but I've got Whitesell. You can see from his view, John up ahead by 2.5 seconds. It looks like so. John's pit strategy once again has worked out for him.
It's not a bad strategy, man, especially if you know you've got more pace than the guy in front of you.
Yeah, like I said, I'm always so hesitant to where I'm afraid sometimes that I might come back out and get stuck behind some of the slower traffic towards the back, but John has proved this season it's not a bad option. And Jesse has made it to the back of Whitesell.
Yeah, kind of nice to see Jesse finish near the top. I mean,
Oh, I'd love it.
the last few races, he started there, he's raced there for most of the race, and then ends up rolling snake eyes and winds up toward the back. Hopefully they stocked up before the race. They've got enough sacrifices to hold them.
I was gonna say what to see if down the start finish straight if the NSX starts pulling them in, but I forgot the Lexus isn't too shabby either when it comes to the top speed. So
yeah, I mean, it's a fun car to drive. I love it so much, but it's like a really dysfunctional relationship. Like a weird girlfriend that's just not very nice to you at all.
you think everything's going fine, and then
And then all of a sudden
the house is wrecked, and all your stuff's broken and thrown out.
Yeah. All of a sudden all your shit's on fire and your car's keyed.
Yeah.
locks on your house are changed, and you just don't know how it got to this point. All because you missed a text.
Yeah. Now, one thing I'll say is even once Jesse, if he is able to close in anymore on Whitesell and start to pressure him, I think Whitesell has proven himself this season that he does not buckle under pressure. He's done pretty well in other races where he's had a guy just breathing down his neck lap after lap and has remained consistent and focused and doesn't let it get into his head, it seems like. So we'll have to watch. And is that Pedro getting by Kumar?
Yeah, it looked like Kumar was off the race.
Oh
Oh, did
no,
he?
same.
Yeah, it happened again.
Yeah. The other curb this time. So first one, it got him on the first one. This time it was the second.
All right, well, let's hope he's got it out of his
And
system this time.
it looks like he's waiting for everyone to. Yeah, so he waits and makes sure to only rejoin after Pedro gets by. So good job on Kumar. I know it's got to be super frustrating for him. He's having a good race, had good pace here. Good to see that the frustration didn't get to him, though, was still patient and waited to rejoin.
Yeah.
Not always easy. Sometimes when you feel like you know you should be doing better than what's happening, it can really get to you. And
Oh, I know that feeling all too well.
And I see Taylor, but he's showing down in 16th. I don't know if something happened to Taylor. Did I miss?
Not sure.
He seems really far back. I remember him being up. I forget his exact position earlier, but I want to say he was maybe even inside. I think he was inside the top 10. So I don't know what happened to Taylor to get him back at 16th. I didn't see a stop. I didn't see a stop and go. I guess that had to have been what it was. Maybe he had. I don't know if he had damage that he had to get fixed or what. But yeah, 16th. I don't know what went on. You'll have to let us know in the comments, Taylor. We don't know what happened to you. You were having a good race, man.
I'm sure he's like, why'd you guys have to mention it?
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh,
no. Right. We hit the time portal.
Yeah, we hit escape velocity, but we're back.
Yeah.
So. We hit the time portal. That's where I put it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I know I put it somewhere. Yeah, so it looks like he has caught up with Whitesell a little bit.
He has.
I just love the sound of this car.
Mm-hmm. So I figured we'd listen to the sweet, sweet, sweet sounds of the Lexus.
It's too bad the RCF didn't sell as good as they'd hope it would. I think they're planning to replace it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I do believe so. I don't even know if it's technically raced anymore.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing one in any recent like GT3 race I've watched. I don't remember seeing a Lexus. Not that I was looking out for him, but I remember seeing a lot of Audis and BMWs, and Mercedes.
Yeah.
Mercedes killing it in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, Jesse looking super consistent this race. The only problem Jesse's gonna have is White Cell's also super consistent. So, but it's good to see, you know, Jesse not losing any places, even if he can't get by White Cell. It'd be great to see him finish in fifth.
Yeah, it would be wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. And that's all I'll say because I don't want to curse anything.
Yeah, I shouldn't say anything at all because every time we do it, never works out in that person's favor. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna stick with this because this is the closest battle on track too.
Yeah, everyone else is pretty well spread out.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Nurburgring is kind of a track that does that, though. A lot of people complain about Snetterton and some of the English tracks, but I don't know, man. Nurburgring is one of those ones where I'm lukewarm on it.
So it's funny. Nurburgring is probably my favorite hard to pass that track because I do think it's a pain in the ass to get by someone here, but for whatever reason I still enjoy the track. It's challenging enough, I guess. I don't know, but there's something about it I like. It's what the Schumacher-esque, the challenge of trying to nail that right every time, the chicane after the back high speed section of the track, turn one. There's some fun turns at Nurburgring.
Speaking of T1, we saw Albert try the old switchback there.
Mm-hmm.
The old switcheroo.
Yeah, I mean, he's really, really close. He is just maybe a car away from, and there he pulled it in there. Now, I mean, he's really within striking distance. We'll try to switch to him here. Not going to be close enough to make a move into the hairpin. Now, if he's lucky, he might get a better run up the Schumacher S. Had to let off a little bit there, so it looks like I don't think he's going to get the run on him here. But the right idea, don't let the car kill you. Just keep it nice and stable and safe. Just stick with him and wait.
Corner that matters is the last corner. If Albert can get just even a little bit more momentum out of that corner than White Cell, he might have a chance of getting him just at the end of the straight.
Man, I mean, Jesse's car looks really good through that section, considering it's the NSX. Yeah, he looked to have the better exit, but that Lexus has some balls, man.
Yeah, does not look. He's not gaining at all.
Not much. And he's gonna take a defensive line through turn 1 too, smartly.
Yeah, Jesse goes for the switchback again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unfortunately, that
hold it tight.
The switchback is probably not a good move through there, just because it puts you on the outside for the rest of this complex coming into this corner. I mean, if you're going to do anything through T1, stay wide. Try to finagle yourself into a position where you might get the inside.
kind of puts them back in the same position they were last lap, heading up to the Schumacher S.
Well, so Jesse's closer this lap, and we saw Whitesall struggle a little
Oh,
bit through
looks
that
like he
last
got a
chicane.
really good run here. I did not
Oh,
hear him let off, but again, man, that Lexus just has balls. It does not allow you to pull in on it like you'd probably see him doing a lot of other cars. He is going to have good position, but playing it safe.
oh,
He almost want
oh,
to
and
go
Whitesall goes
back.
wide.
Almost want to go back and watch this again. This is good.
Yeah,
Jumps
Whitesall opts for
inside, but
the.
he isn't quite alongside. So Jesse does the right thing there of kind of backing out. He wasn't quite. When you're watching the in car, it always looks like you're more alongside than you really are when you go to watch the outside view. So Jesse was right for kind of backing off there and not forcing it into White Cell.
Yeah, and now Ken North
Oh,
has
let's
joined the
jump
party.
back. Yeah. So now we'll ride on with Ken for a little bit. This is the problem when you start battling, you start inviting others to the party.
Yeah, one wonders if this is maybe the whole idea behind slowing Jesse up is to get him fighting with Ken.
Possibly.
I mean, if Ken's smart, he'll just follow Jesse. I mean, Jesse does look like he's got a bit more pace.
Yeah, stay close to Jesse and then just try to follow him through when the.
I've never known Jesse to sit on an opportunity. So
No, I think he's shown really good restraint here. But yeah, Jesse's not one to shy away from making a move if it's there.
yeah, almost pushing Whitesell through that hairpin.
And again, we're just going to stay with this because as before, this is the closest battle on the track. Ooh, a lot of curb there, and the NSX staying in control. I don't know what setup magic Jesse has this week either, but the car just looks really stable compared to how it normally looks.
Just the softest springs you've ever seen.
Ooh, right up on him.
Yeah, and this is a really. I mean,
You're only gonna
you
get
can
by if
feel.
there's a mistake here.
Yeah,
So.
you can feel your blood pressure going up by a healthy amount every lap. You're stuck behind someone.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that.
it's just it's one of those situations where you're just you're ready and raring to go. You know that there's something you could be doing to get past this person, or at least you think there's something you can be
Mm-hmm.
doing to get past this person, and let's just hope it doesn't result in a bad decision because it
Yeah,
oftentimes does.
as the impatience grows. Yeah. Yeah, and to Whitesell's credit, like we talked about, I mean, just super consistency. He has not made a mistake that has allowed Jesse to capitalize. You know, he had that one part through the Schumacher S where it looked like he had to let off a little bit more than Jesse, and Jesse had a good run up that let him battle. But outside of that, there's been no mistake from Whitesell, which is why he's still in front.
I can just imagine Jesse on the radio right now to Ken asking for some shake and bake action, a little bump drafting.
Yeah, we don't know how that always works, as we saw with Alvarez and Blythe. Sometimes even the lightest push
yeah,
from behind.
yeah. It's not something you want to really try.
Oh,
Oh,
little extra curb. The NSX did not like that, and he's lucky Ken wasn't closer. He might be having to deal with Ken alongside of him right now.
yeah. Well, that's another virgin. Still in the race though.
Oh
That's
yeah.
the important part.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well, we'll kind of peek through the field here some. So, Moda just absolutely dominating so far. It is showing David 3.8 seconds, so David's not. I think he maybe pulled back some or hung back some. I think it was a bigger gap than that earlier. So David not doing too shabby himself. And then quite a ways back, we've got John, third place, having another great race from him. He's been super, super consistent, and I think has finished almost top 3 every race, minus maybe 1 or 2. And that takes us back to Whitesell, who's just having a strong race today, dealing with pressure, which I feel like he's been no stranger of. He's had several races like this season.
Yeah, it's been a pretty impressive inaugural. Wow, easy for me to say. Inaugural season for Whitesell. I mean, he's only been with us for a few races.
Yep. He
But
was a mid-season join.
yeah.
Yeah, so we have Whitesell, Albert, North, and behind them, 8 seconds back, Stefan, I went to say it, Steven, a.k.a. Tom Buckley.
No, it's William.
Another great race this one, 7th place, looking good. I don't think we'll see him catch up to North, but mistakes could always happen, so we'll see. Maybe he can finish even higher. And then Pedro behind him, who's a significant chunk. We're at the 57-minute mark, so I don't know how much position change we'll see from those guys. And then Kumar and then Tillman to round out the top 10. Darty in the grass. We have word that it looks like Darty got sick and pulled over. So if this was real life, he'd be yakking out the window of the car or inside the car right now.
Well, if he's lucky,
Yeah.
it'd probably be in his helmet.
Oh god.
So.
Oh god, that would be the app. Oh.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Right.
a bad. That's oh.
Yeah, it's not a good thought to
No,
have, right?
even the visor up is not going to help you.
Yeah. Just imagine what an astronaut would have to deal with.
Oh. Yeah, so Jesse has gotten back, not quite where he was before, but very, very close to Whitesell again.
Sorry for putting that image in your head. Oh man. Yeah. Sort of pulled away from Ken. Back on the tail of Whitesell here.
Yep.
Kind of. This whole fight has sort of conjured the picture of the older brother and his friends playing, and Ken being like, "Hold up, guys! I want to come." No, get out of here. Gosh, go home. Little Napoleon Dynamite there for you.
Vote for Pedro. That's what Pedro.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah. I mean, not to change the subject all that much, but my wife is actually from roughly the area in Idaho where that movie takes place. And we watched it when it came out, and she looked at me and she goes, This is scarily how it was like. So
The closest thing I have to a movie was Borat, the car dealership that he goes to in Borat. I worked at that dealership before, and I know the salesman who was trying to sell him the Hummer. I knew him from when I worked there, so that was as
nice.
close as I've ever been to a movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
now we're getting a little bit looser there again.
same spot. I think he's just trying to maximize, trying to get as deep inside there, and he's trying to close in as much as possible to try to make
Yeah.
a move.
I think that one counts half a virgin.
Still got the other half of her left.
Yeah.
He might need
Hey,
it. He might need
hey,
it. I think we're
or
on.
or him,
Is this
we're
still?
equal opportunity sacrificers
Yeah,
around here.
yeah, that's true. I don't know. Ooh, good, good
Oh,
run, but it looks like White Cell also.
I find myself holding my breath every time we're
Mm-hmm.
on board.
Yep.
I almost don't want to watch.
Oh man. So this is it. I see the.
Yep, coming up to the finish line, we got the old green smoke.
Yeah. So I think at this point, yeah. Oh,
Whoa,
that's
whoa.
about as unsettled as I've seen that car. That still wasn't bad considering what he's driving.
That was a Hail Mary if I've ever seen one.
He's got to be happy though. Top 5. Good race.
Yeah,
Great
congrats
job.
to Whitetail on number 4 there.
Yeah. So Moto, Macedo, Jon Snow are top 3. White Cell, great job. Jesse, great job. That takes our top 5. So Ken's going through. Tom Buckley, nice. Ooh. This Pedro celebrating his 8th. He did start from the pits, so good um good ability to gain positions. Tillman gonna end up in 10th. Life finishing just outside the top 10, it looks like. Good job for him as he comes through the uphill chicane. And then Marlo, everyone else has already finished. So that will do it. Race 7 in the books. Jay, any thoughts, feelings for your driver of the day?
Well, I think he placed pretty high up and didn't have to sacrifice all that many virgins for it. So I'm gonna go with Jesse. I think he really sort of held it together this race. I mean, that's kind of a daunting prospect, but given what he's driving and all that, yeah, I'd say that's probably who I'm gonna go with there.
Yeah, great. I was that was my pick between or that was I had two picks. It was either going to be Whitesell or Jesse, depending on who you did. But I'll see with Jesse. I'm going to go Whitesell just because um, fourth place finish. He had pressure, breathing down his neck lap after lap, and managed to once again stay in front, not succumb to the pressure, and keep that fourth place, which could have easily been given up by other drivers facing that same amount of pressure. So good job on his part, and I want to give him my nod for driver of the day.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
All right, well, that does it for Nurburgring. We will see everybody back next week. It's the season finale at Monza. Wish everybody luck through turn one.
Yeah, I don't know. You might need more than luck. T1 at Monza is always
Well,
just.
we did it in the damp track couple
That's
couple
true.
seasons back, and it was clean. So I'm feeling pretty good. I don't want to knock on wood.
I have. I just have so much PTSD
Who
from
doesn't? Who
public
doesn't?
lobbies,
Those
Monza.
butt cheeks are clenched every time you're breaking into turn.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've mentioned it before, but having bites out of your chair and you're not using your mouth. So it's yeah, it's always a scary prospect. So I guess we'll see how the guys do.
All right, we'll see everyone back next week, and talk to you again then, Jay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, bye everybody.